It's Week 5 of the National Football League, where division rivals will clash in the AFC South. It's the Jaguars and the Titans on Thursday night primetime.
Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception. But this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans.
We play to win.
The Titans set to take over behind their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Tannehill. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. So first and 10 now from the 30. They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence. They go play action with Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play for the Jaguars.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Play action. It's Lawrence. Connection made with Chenault. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the snap. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he works free. Still shedding tackles. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, Derrick Henry, the league's leading rusher in 2019. You wouldn't think a man that big could motor like that, but he can all right, and he proved it right there.
And what was impressive to me is not just how much he wanted it, but how he fashioned it. I mean, he was shedding tacklers left and right, evading tacklers left and right. And when you think about the energy it takes to ward guys off, that's really impressive. He still managed to keep his balance and turn this into a fantastic run.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 8 catches, 103 in the yardage department.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And that'll be incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
His throw incomplete.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you... Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked by Kevin Byard. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's got it complete, Derrick Henry. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw is Tannehill. Man open, here is Jones.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now a handoff to Henry, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And this is incomplete.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
That's going to be caught. It's Chenault.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
They go play action now. Lawrence
escaping the pressure right.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the 1st down in the process. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40.
On play action, Lawrence And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Lawrence.
He sets up the screen to Jones. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
And Henry gets the call there on 1st down as he pushes his way forward. A pickup of about 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Henry again on 2nd down.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Now Lawrence.
And Ingram holds it in. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
It's hauled in by Shepard.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, it's Lawrence.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked by Kevin Byard. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
Throwing after the interception. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
Harold Landry able to record his 5th sack of the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Sliding out of the pocket. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Tannehill. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Tannehill's throw into the hands of Ferkser here.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 41, Tannehill. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Tannehill now to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Josh Allen able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Tannehill. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And it's a Titans touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Point after try forthcoming. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season. right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. 1st down and much more for Henry. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly, but first.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half. And for the call, let's get you back up to Nashville, Music City, and Brandon Guy.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Lawrence. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Titan football. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Tannehill. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He dumps it off for Henry. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands 1st and 10. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Lawrence will throw. Flush to his right. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target in the 2nd half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. 1st down and much more here for Jones. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play that time for the Titans.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Tannehill on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Over the middle here to Brown. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his 1st attempt, this from 45. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Lawrence going to throw again.
And that's complete to Shepard. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And the Jaguars are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And they'll run with Etienne.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll try to run with Etienne.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown.
James Robinson,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill.
A check down here for Henry.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They go play action now. Lawrence. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
That one will be incomplete. He caught it but could not stay in bounds for the long connection. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do.
And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence steps away to his left, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Steps away. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brooks.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne.
His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return.
Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
On play action, Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
They have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Lawrence on the sneak.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's a group that's well aware of what's going on the scoreboard right now. Excellent work by them to push them back. That defense, they want to make sure the worst they come out of this with is a field goal and a tie game.
One more time with ETN.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
He's back to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Tennessee offense set to go again.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. They begin with Henry. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Second and 11.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Titans, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.